Pinnacle's new Exhaust Cleaner and Brightener. This applied foam, yellow foam pad. It's very stiff. It's definitely not your normal yellow wax pad, and it's not quite as stiff and as porous as the yellow bug sponge, but it is a nice stiff applicator pad. The first thing that I noticed, I'm going to show you here. The first thing I noticed is that this stuff is more of a, it's not hard, it's not really a paste, it's more of a goop. The directions say apply a small amount to the foam exhaust polishing sponge. Use sparingly, a little goes a long way, and work it until there is a black residue, and then buff off to a mirror polish. It does say it will leave a protective barrier behind, imparts a protective coating. So we're just gonna dab some of this on, and I'm gonna probably over apply it based on the directions, but we're gonna try this. I just took a little dip in there, close the lid back up, and now we are just going to apply it, and very quickly I'm already getting residue. Now, I will talk about the difference between this and my normal P21S polishing soap. The polishing soap on P21S, you wet the applicator and then you kind of dip it and get it into the soap, and then you apply it. Since this is a goopy product, kind of like a wheel sealants and such, from like wheel wax and stuff. You don't have, I'm assuming that you don't have to wet anything, and you're simply applying this until you get the desired results. Okay, now there is a little bit of tarnish left, but I will fully say and admit that it is something that I have not been able to get off since winter. My plan is to pull the exhaust tips off and do a really good polish on them. Now, so the product works, it cleans well. Honestly, the tips are very slick. You can tell that there's something left behind. My one current complaint: this foam applicator is so thick and stiff. While it does a good job here on the edges and underneath, it doesn't let me get it in between. So up here, it makes it hard for me to get it in, and as well as in between. That is something that I dislike. It's something that I've run into even on the P21S, the same thing with their applicator. So what I normally do is I normally grab a very thin scrub pad, scrub sponge, and maybe even some very, very fine steel wool to work into these areas so that I can kind of, you know, wrap it around and work it in there and get some pressure on things. But overall, The product did exactly what it was supposed to do. Just a tiny little dab on the applicator. I worked it in, it cleaned everything up, and the tips look good, and they're polished, and they're protected. I can't complain with that. I mean, if I could have a slightly thinner sponge, that would be awesome, but that might not, necessarily be that big of a deal. If you have single big exhaust tips, you probably won't care about that at all. It's only when you get these real tight dual exhausts that this might be an issue. But thanks for watching.